Well, we're watching the epidemiological curve, the epidemic curve. This shows us the acceleration in the number of cases, and when that reaches its peak and it's not then tipping in terms of the number of new cases, then in fact we can say that it's now on its downward curve, and therefore it has peaked. And therefore we're looking at control measures being effective, or where in fact the virus itself is naturally peaking out.
And we know a lot more about coronavirus, the spread of it now. Is that because there are better ways of testing for the virus?
Well, initially, the virus was unknown. There were similar viruses. And in fact, we knew there were viruses circulating in bats and other animals and so on, etc. And of course, in humans, we have our own coronaviruses. But this was a new virus. When a new virus appears, the diagnostic tests can't reveal it until, in fact, you design those laboratory tests to actually find that particular strain of virus.
I see.
So consequently, what the Chinese were able to do is locate and the patients who were infected or suspected of a pneumonic illness, take those samples, devise tests which will recover a new virus, which is not straightforward, but there are methods, and therefore design new laboratory tests based on that particular genetic sequence of the virus they've isolated.
And they're learning very quickly, aren't they? Because they have to. But one figure that's come out in the last 24 hours is it's now overtaken SARS in terms of number of cases or deaths. Should we be concerned about that?
Well, of course, what this virus has done has shown that person-to-person transmission is actually quite efficient. Remember, this virus was basically from probably an animal source, and viruses tend to sort of stay within that species. When in fact they jump into a new species, it takes them time to naturalize within the human host. And so its transmission is not usually efficient. What was quite clear right from the start was, in terms of the number of cases and so on, this was spreading far more quickly than you would expect if it was purely an animal sort of virus struggling to survive. This virus seemed to show human transmission efficiently to a point that we believe that its spread will be significant. And of course, the numbers prove that.